So today, I'm gonna take off my jacket because it's hot out here. And I have to wear my sunglasses for this one because we're talking about trolls today. Let's be serious. Do you feed the trolls? Because it's hard for most people not to. And when I talk about trolls, I don't mean the ones that say, oh, well, trolls hate sunshine, because that's the truth if we're in Thor world, but we're not. Right now we're in Jackson Hole world. There's my sparkly ring for my boyfriend that I love so much. Okay, no, seriously. Let's talk about trolls. Trolls, haters, what else do we call them? Spammers, right? I had one of these instances in one of my live streams, and I thought, you know what? I should really do a live stream about the trolls. And I was also wondering if a troll would show up just because I put the word troll in my descriptor. Okay, so we'll see. But the thing is, I had this conversation with a lot of different women that go live on camera, and they said, you know what, Rose? I just ignore them. I just either block them and don't even think about it, or I just go on with my live stream. And I say, bravo you, lady, because you know what? It's hard sometimes. On my live stream, when that happened to me, I was actually taking a look at the comments, and I was just appalled at what these people were writing. And we think to ourselves, you know what? How are you a person? Like, a troll is not a very pretty thing. It's actually a very ugly thing to do that to a person. So the problem with having trolls on your live stream is that you can't always report them because they're smarter than the technology, right? And this always happens. But people say, oh, well, you just have to report them, or you just have to block them. And in some instances, especially on YouTube, you can't quite do that. So I wanted to make sure that all the ladies in my network knew, what is it that you do? You can't always report them, but when they make a comment on your live stream, there's these 3 dots. My pretty ring is sparkly. 3 dots, right? There's 3 dots right by their name. And so you need to click that and then click on report or block, or sometimes I actually threw it up in motion and started deleting the comments, and it confused the spammers. And they were like, why does she keep deleting our comments? Why? Because they're inappropriate. But did I need to say that live? No, did not need to. So I actually had a woman on my live stream that I was interviewing, super exciting because she was really telling her story about how she live streamed and how it took her all this time to kind of get through those things. And after the live stream, I felt like I needed to apologize. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm so sorry about these people that were writing this garbledy-gook nonsense on my live stream. Like, that's never happened. And she said, you know what? It's okay, because the only reason why we want to say our message to the world is to reach the people that matter. And here's the thing about trolls, spammers, haters, whatever you want to call them, is that they are just below the level of humanness, which I know that's terrible to like say that someone's way, way down here, but they are. And most people can't actually resist in saying to someone, hey, you, get off my feed, or cursing, or trying to do something else that will make the trolls stop what they're doing. The trolls are there because they want to give you a reason to actually provoke an argument with you. So the best thing to do is to leave it alone, in my opinion, although you can do whatever you like. There is this woman that I know. Her name is Penny Soo. Sue as in S-O-O. Yes, that kind. And she said to me, you know what? When I got spammers, I hope they come there because I'm gonna. And I thought, well, good for you, Penny Soo, but I just don't know if that's worth my time, right? A lot of people can't resist, but if you can, do that. You know why? Because live streams are always watched in a replay, and people don't know that that even happened. So you can always manage that stuff later and just let the stream go through, or you can delete them or block them at the time of. But remember, when you try to report them, they're usually smarter than you, and they know that you can't report them because they've done some kind of something to the technology that when you go to report, even if it's a couple seconds later, it says, this doesn't exist. And then you get even more angry. And especially you're trying to interact on a live stream and you're trying to do all the things. So here's one of the best ways if you want to report that spammer because they keep coming back. Maybe they're coming back under a different name because that is totally and completely possible. So here's one of the best ways to report a troll, spammer, hater. First way is to record. Now, if you're on your phone, it's super easy because all you have to do is hit the record button. If you're not sure how to do that, I actually keep my record button in my slide down menu. So all I have to do is go like this. And then I'm recording. 3, 2, 1, recording. And you get the actual username on the screen and what they're saying. Now, that's always not something that they can follow up with, meaning the powers that be all the way up here like YouTube, but sometimes they can. So it's worth a try. So you can record your screen or you can actually place a screenshot, right? You can take a screenshot and then you have everything that you need to and just move on with your live stream and what you're discussing. So like I said, when I had some trolls on my last feed, I just kind of kept deleting the comments because I couldn't find the block button. And if that happens to you, then just ignore it, right? So I just kept deleting their, and they were like, why does she keep doing that? Why does she keep deleting her comments? Like I was confusing them, but it worked. And blocking is obviously the best way to go. And if you are able to hire someone to manage the live stream, when you get bigger and better and people come and they join and they interact with you, this is the type of thing that you want to have on your live streams, is someone else monitoring that so that you don't need to worry about it. Because really the only thing that matters in a live stream, ladies, your message. Your message. My message today is about the troll. So they just want to provoke an argument and they want to start the drama because it's hard for people to resist in writing back. But remember that trolls, spammers, and haters are a form of cyberbullying and it's against the law. So any way that you can either record the screen or you can screenshot the screen, especially if it keeps happening to you, do that. You don't want to say in your live streams that you're being trolled because I think those words go into the algorithm and then they look for those people like, oh, you've been trolled before, let me troll you again. Let me troll you again and again and again. So really what you need to do is ignore them. I know it can be hard because you want to fight back and be like, this is my live stream, you don't belong here. Well, you could try it and see how it goes. Comment below, let me know. If you didn't know, I forgot to introduce myself in the beginning. My name is Rose Cayazzo, also known as Jackson Hole Rose, and I do a lot of things. But right now, I have a passion to inspire and empower women to get on camera because I believe that with the rise of AI, everyone is going to be live streaming. And that is going to be happening super soon, if not at this moment, right? Because remember, I was in the social media world before people believed me. I had people putting me down. I had people saying I was full of bleep. And, you know, I just kept on evangelizing because I believed social media was going to change our world. And here we are. Social media has changed our world so much that I have to differentiate myself and actually go into the realm of live streaming because I believe that this is going to be the power of a woman on camera with their message, and it's going to do a lot for us as women just in the world of social media. We're not in the industry, because the industry would mean if you do like on camera or commercials, these types of things, which I have done myself. But in all of my acting day world years, I've always felt like I wanted to be myself. And so whenever I do get acting, quote, acting things, like the last acting thing I did was for the, let's see, Historical Preservation Board. And they gave me a script and I thought, oh gosh, I gotta work with a script? Like really, we're doing this? But it was important to get the historical aspects of what we were speaking about out there. So I did the script, but I did it in my way where I was able to still be myself. Jackson Hole Rose, that's who I am. All right, ladies, give me some comments in the, down below there and let me know what you think about trolls, spammers, haters. Have you had them? What do you feel that you would do if you had them on your live stream? In private groups, this does not happen as much, but when you do them in the public, It definitely can happen. And I feel ya because it's happened to me. And I just wanted to say, maybe the best way to go is to ignore. And if you disagree, I still want to hear it below. I want to hear what you say about these people that are all the way down at this level here. You can't even believe they're real people, but they are. Like, they're not bots. Isn't that crazy to think like spammers in the sense of coming on your live stream and making awful comments are not bots? Like, out of all the things, it should be bots. Anyway, I feel like I am completely hogging this feed because I'm looking at the Tetons right now. So I should probably flip it around and let you see for yourself. And then also say to you, as I'm switching it around, remember to F perfect. Can you see them way, way, way out there? Let's see if I can just, yeah. Yep, that's what I've been looking at this whole time. Not that ugly building, but those beautiful Tetons. And if I had a better steady hand, they wouldn't be shaking right now. Shika, 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 shika. All right. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're watching, whew, it's a sunny, hot day out here in Jackson Hole. All right. I've said what I need to say. Remember, F perfect. You know why? Because it don't matter. It really don't matter. Just go live. Have your message to the world. That's what's important. And remember to keep it real, because why do we keep it real? Because live streaming in this day and age is your thumbprint. It's like, boom, this is me. This is who I am. No one else can try to copy me. Not Jackson Hole Rose. Okay, have fun and see y'all later. Here we go with that stupid left button and the live stream. Yes, I'm sure.